It is 11:52 on a Tuesday night. You are at the laundromat on Renner Street, the one with the broken vending machine and the light that hums. You are folding a gray hoodie. You have owned it for 9 years. The cuffs are thin now, and one of the strings is gone. Your phone sits face up on the counter. The banking app is open. The number on the screen is $4.6 million. You look at it the way you would look at a weather forecast. Then you lock the phone and fold the next shirt. Your car is a 2011 Corolla with 187,000 miles on it. Your rent is $740 a month. The woman feeding quarters into the dryer beside you thinks you work at a warehouse. You let her think it. Nobody in your life knows the number. Not your brother. Not the 2 people you would call friends. Not the woman at the laundromat. You have built an entire life around making sure they never find out. This is the part nobody sees. On the outside, you are a quiet man in a worn hoodie folding laundry at midnight. On the inside, you could buy the laundromat, the building it sits in, the block it sits on. You never will, but you could. That gap, the one between what they see and what is true, is the whole shape of your life now. Here is how you got there. Age 8. You are sorting your father's spare change into paper rolls on the kitchen floor. Pennies in one stack, quarters in another. He pays you $1 to do it. You do not spend the dollar. You put it in a coffee can under your bed. You like the weight of the can more than anything the dollar could buy. Age 13. The can holds $60. You count it twice a week. You learn that money you do not spend is money that stays. It sounds simple. Most people never feel it in their hands. You did, early. Age 16. You are stocking shelves at a grocery store for $6.15 an hour. You save 80% of every check. Your coworkers buy sneakers and concert tickets. You buy a library card, which is free, and read a book with a torn cover about index funds. You read it 3 times. Age 19. You put $3,000 into the market. It is everything you have. Your hands are cold when you press the button. Then you go to your shift and stock the cereal aisle and do not check the price for a month. You teach yourself not to look. Not looking becomes your only real skill. Age 22. The 3,000 has become 11,000. You have added to it every 2 weeks without missing once. Birthdays, holidays, the week your tooth cracked and you paid cash and did not touch the account. When people ask what you do with your money, you say you are broke. It is easier. It ends the conversation before it starts. Age 26. The number is 280,000. You move to a smaller apartment to save $90 a month, even though you do not need to anymore. You do not know how to stop. The saving was never about the destination. It was the only direction you knew how to walk. Age 27. You meet someone. Her name does not matter to this story, which is the whole problem. You date her for 14 months. She thinks you are careful with money, and she finds it sweet. She splits every bill down the middle, and you let her. You sit across from her with $600,000 she will never hear about. And you tell yourself you will explain it when the time is right. The time is never right. She leaves for reasons that are real, and also not the real reason. You let her go without a word about it. It was the closest you ever came to telling anyone, and you said nothing. Age 29. The number crosses 1 million. You are in your car in a grocery store parking lot when you see it. You wait for something, a feeling, a door opening somewhere in the distance. Nothing happens. A man 2 spaces over is arguing with someone on the phone. The engine ticks as it cools. A cart rolls into the corral. You sit there for a while. Then you drive home and heat up rice from the day before and go to sleep at the normal time. The biggest morning of your life, and you brush your teeth for the normal 2 minutes. That was the day you understood the trick. The number was never going to be the thing. You had spent 20 years walking toward a door, and when you finally reached it, there was just another room behind it. The same as the last one. A little quieter. A little colder. Here is what nobody tells you about getting the thing you saved for. The wanting does not end. It only loses its target. For years, the number was the reason behind everything. Eat less. Stay home. Say no. The number gave the no a meaning. Then the number arrived, and the no stayed, and the meaning left without it. You kept living small, but now you could not say why, so you keep it secret. Not out of humility, out of fear. Because you have done the math on people. You know what happens to the man whose brother needs $40,000 for a bad year. The friend who suddenly has a business idea worth getting in on early. The woman who starts to look at you a little differently once she sees the kind of car you could be driving. You watched it happen to someone you knew. He told one person at a party. Within a year, he was not a man anymore. He was a bank with a face. So you tell no one. You become very good at being unremarkable. You practice it. You let the hoodie fray. You keep the Corolla. You learn to flinch when someone says the word rich, the way other men flinch at the word poor. This is the cost, and it is so quiet you almost miss it. You cannot accept a gift anymore. When your brother covers a $22 lunch, you feel something close to shame, because you are letting a man with credit card debt pay for a man with $4.6 million. And you cannot tell him. And the lie sits in your chest the whole drive home. You measure every kindness. Someone is generous to you, and a small, cold voice asks what they want. You have lost the ability to receive anything cleanly. The money turned every open hand into a question you cannot stop asking. You eat alone most nights. You are careful about what you say, and how much you laugh, and what you let slip. You have turned down 2 trips and a wedding, because the questions get sharper when people see you up close for a week. You own a building 3 streets over that you have never told a living soul about. You drive past it sometimes. The tenants wave at the landlord's truck and never at you. You have never once gone inside. There was a night last winter when your brother called, drunk and tired, and said he was $9,000 behind and did not know how he would make rent in March. You could have ended it in 1 sentence. You had the sentence ready. You sat with the phone against your ear and the number glowing on the laptop in front of you. $4.6 million. And you told him things would turn around if he kept his head down. Then you mailed him $9,000 in cash from a return address that was not yours and let him believe it came from a charity. He still talks about that charity. He thinks the world is kinder than it is. You let him. You are the richest man at every table you sit at, and the loneliest one too. The second thing is the price of the first. You paid it slowly, over years, without ever signing anything. Nobody handed you a contract. You just woke up one day on the far side of a wall you built yourself, brick by brick, every time you said you were broke. It is 11:52 on a Tuesday night. You are at the laundromat on Renner Street. The hoodie is folded now, square and flat on top of the pile. The dryer turns. The light hums. The woman beside you gathers her quarters and leaves, and the door closes soft behind her. You pick up the phone one more time. $4.6 million. You could leave right now. Buy a house with a yard and a name on the deed. Tell your brother. Tell the woman. Walk through any door you wanted, and keep walking, and never fold a stranger's hoodie in a humming light again. You put the phone in your pocket. You pick up the basket. You go home the way you always do, the long way, past the building you own and do not enter. The number keeps growing in the dark, quiet and patient, and yours. You keep getting smaller around it, and somewhere far back there is the boy who counted the coffee can twice a week, who never spent the dollar, and you will go your whole life without knowing whether he saved you or buried you.